The warm hues of light afternoon sun painted golden streaks across the campus sky, casting long shadows over the courtyard. Students burst in every direction, laughing, rushing, loitering, but all the noise felt muted to you as you sat on the wooden bench beside Minji. Your legs swung slightly beneath the bench, rhythmically brushing the grass. Minji was busy peeling off the wrapper of a caramel wafer, completely oblivious to the way your eyes kept darting across the courtyard. Your heartbeat was doing that thing again, the weird stutter skips it always did whenever he walked by. John Jungkook, the living definition of a walking distraction, black hair effortlessly styled, sleeves always rolled up just enough to reveal his veins, silvering on his finger like a signature. He was the kind of boy who never tried to look good, and yet always managed to look unreadable, cold, intense, and unfortunately the one boy who occupied far too much spacing in your thoughts. You didn't even notice you were staring again until Minji waved her hand in front of your face. Wine, hello, or to simp number one. You snapped out of it and glared at her, pretending not to blush. I wasn't simping, I was observing from a distance like a dignified admirer. She snorted with laughter. You sound like an undercover stalker. You roll your eyes and lean back against the bench dramatically. Whatever, the universe is playing a joke on me. I'm sure, like, why would God give me functioning eyes and put Jungkook in the same college? It's unfair. Functioning eyes, babe, your brain stops functioning the moment he walks within 50 feet. You threw your empty water bottle at her, laughing. That teasing, the sarcasm, it helped. It made the unreturned feelings feel a little less pathetic. You were about to make another snarky comeback when it happened. A voice, smooth, deep, and too familiar. Minji. His tone was flat, casual, but it carried weight, the kind of voice that made people look. Turn heads, including yours. You froze mid laugh, her jawing like it had forgotten how to beat for a second. Slowly, you turned, and there he was, tall, imposing, cool as ever in his all black outfit, backpack stung effortlessly over one shoulder. His eyes were not on you, not even close. They were mixed on Minji. Your stomach twisted. You sat there silently as Minji blinked up at him, mildly confused. Hey. Jungkook stepped closer, slipping his hands into his pockets with casual ease. Come with me, I need to talk. Now? Yeah. You expected him to wait, maybe acknowledge you, maybe just maybe offer a polite note, a hello, anything, but instead, without another word, he reached out and gently took Minji's arm, tugging her to her feet like it was the most natural thing in the world. You blinked once, twice, still no one eye contact. You sat there on that bench like an accessory, a forgotten extra. Did I become that easy to ignore? Minji hesitated, throwing you a glance, half apologetic. Why? I'll be back in like 15. Let's go. and he was already walking, practically dragging her along. You watched them disappear down the path, swallowed by the crowd. You breathed, catch somewhere in your throat. The bench suddenly felt colder, emptier. He really just did that. He knew I was there. He looked through me like I was here. What am I supposed to be? Invisible now? Your hands clenched on fists in your lap. You didn't cry, not in public, not in front of the trees and the wind and the people who wouldn't care. You just sat there for a few seconds longer until you couldn't take the silence anymore. Meanwhile, inside the quaint, cozy cafe near campus, the air smelled of espresso, beans, and vanilla syrup. Jungkook sat across from Minji, his expression unreadable. He stirred his Americano absently while Minji raised an eyebrow at him. Okay, what was that about? You look like you were about to throw hands with the air if I said no. He didn't answer immediately. He just sipped his coffee, then placed the cup back down with deliberate calm. You are the only person on campus I can stand talking to. Is that a compliment or a warning? He smirked faintly. Also, you do know wine likes you, right? The moment the words left her mouth, the air between them shifted. She will get over it. Minji narrowed her eyes. You really don't care? He leaned forward a little, voice calm and dismissive. Let's not waste time talking about her. I didn't bring you here to talk about someone who's obsessed. She's not obsessed, she's just soft. Same thing. He leaned back, shrugging slightly. Let's talk about us, not her. And just like that, your name was swept under the rug, replaced by shallow conversation and sugar-coated flirtation. Back at your apartment, the door clicked shut behind you. You slipped off your shoes, your bag hitting the floor with a soft thud. The apartment was still, quiet, the kind of silence that wrapped around your chest like a slow constriction. You sat on the edge of your bed, arms wrapped around your knees, eyes unfocused. He touched her like it was nothing. Like I wasn't even there, not even what her glance was. I always that forgettable. You lay back on the bed, staring up at the ceiling fan as it spun in slow circles. You were not angry, not really, just hollow. I thought he didn't notice me, but maybe he notices me too much and chooses to look away. The weight of unspoken feelings settled like a blanket over your chest, and for the first time, you wondered if crushing on someone who never saw you might hurt less than being deliberately unseen. The morning breeze was soft and cool against your skin as you walked through the campus gates with Minji by your side. The sky still wore sleepy hues, light gray and pale orange, and the corridors were quieter than usual. Only the earthbirds and coffee craving students wandered around. Minji was unusually chatty, a little too excited as you walked beside you, twirling a strand of her hair between her fingers with a smudged little smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. You knew yesterday when we were at the cafe, he held my hand. You turned slightly, a polite smile forcing its way onto your lips. You didn't respond, you just humped, trying not to let it show, but your stomach twisted. And not just like accidentally brushing fingers, I mean full on hand holding. His thumb was doing that little circle thing on the back of my hand. You laughed bitterly, a quiet, hollow laugh that sounded more like a breeze escaping your lungs than anything else. Wow, must have been magical. Minji didn't notice the way your jaw tightened, or maybe she did, and she just didn't care. Her voice was syrupy, sweet with just the right hint of cruelty, like she was trying to measure your reaction word by word. You were about to change the topic, your fingers gripping the strap of your bag just a bit too tight, when a voice cut through the air like a plane. Minji, you both stopped in your tracks. Your breath hissed instantly. Your body reacted before your brain could. Your tongue instinctively heard doing that familiar skip, even though you told yourself not to expect anything. Shungo was walking toward you too, his steps casual but confident, the way they always were. He wore a navy hoodie, sleeves rolled up, hair towel like he had not even tried and still managed to look perfect. Your lips parted slightly. Good morning, Jungkook, but he didn't even look at you. Instead, he rolled his eyes with a quiet scoff, like your breathing had been an annoying fly buzzing near his ear, and stepped past you without a word. You stood frozen as he stopped beside Minji and placed a hand perfectly on his shoulder. Come on, I need to talk to you. Minji gave you a shrug and a little half smile that might have been mean to look apologetic, but instead it was tongue. And just like that, they walked off, laughing over something you couldn't hear. He didn't even pretend to be polite. He looked right through me, like I wasn't even standing there. Later in the classroom, the atmosphere was heavier than usual. You sat at your usual desk near the window, your notebook open in front of you, but the words on the page blurred together. Your pen tapped against the margin rhythmically, your thoughts elsewhere. You didn't need to know where he was. You felt his presence the moment he walked in. Jungkook's voice rose from the back row, unmistakable and deliberate. Minji, remember yesterday at the cafe, that thing you said about me? What was it again? That I'm too good looking for my own good? You didn't turn around. I was joking. Nah, I think you were being honest. Don't try to take it back now. He laughed, a rich, smooth sound that you used to love hearing in the hallway. But now it sounded cruel, directed. He was trying to make you hear it. He wanted you to feel seen, unseen, left behind. Your throat tightened, your pen stopped moving. You stared at the page, but you were not seeing anything anymore. You swallowed hard and tried to breathe through the heat in your chest. When college ended, you walked home slowly, like the weight of your own heart was dragging your steps. The sky had turned darker now, clouds gathering like a warning, but you didn't care. You reached your apartment, kicked off your shoes without bothering You lined them up and collapsed onto your bed fully dressed. The room was dim and quiet, too quiet, and then the silence broke. Why do I even try? What am I to him? Just someone to humiliate? Just a girl who's always standing behind her prettier friend? Tears welled up before you could stop them. You didn't cry often, not really. But today it just hurt too much. You curled onto your side, hugging your pillow like it was the only safe place left. You're so stupid, why? And you knew he didn't like you. You knew, so why does it hurt like this? Your voice cracked as the tears spilled, warm against your cheeks. Why wasn't I ever enough to even be seen? You let it all out, every ache, every ounce of silent jealousy, every moment you stood alone watching them laugh. The ceiling became a blur, the fan above spinning slowly like it was mocking your stillness. Eventually, the crying slowed, the pain didn't go away, but it settled like fog, dull, cold, and suffocating. You whispered into the silence, voice barely audible. From tomorrow, I won't care anymore. He doesn't want me, fine. I'll stop looking, stop waiting. He will be invisible to me too. With that promise, you finally closed your swollen eyes, letting exhaustion pull you into a restless sleep. And somewhere deep down, something inside you hardened, quietly loosening dignity over longing. The next morning, the sky was a faded silver, still heavy from the rain that fell during the night. The campus ground smelled of wet grass and fresh beginnings, but there was nothing fresh about the way you felt. You walked into the gates with your chin slightly lifted, shoulders straighter than usual. Today, you were not going to trail behind anyone, especially not Minji. She spotted you instantly, waving as she approached with her usual energy, and beside her, just like always, was Jungkook, hands in his hoodie pockets, quiet and readable. Wine, good morning. You gave a small note, polite and sharp. Morning. That was it. No stopping, no slowing down, and not even a glance toward the boy who had once twisted your heart without even trying. You didn't even look at him, not when he tilted his head slightly, expecting your eyes to meet his, not when you walked right past them like they were not even there. Inside the classroom, you reached your seat before the others. You slide your bag off your shoulder and sat down quietly, flipping open your notebook. And that's when you felt it, a gaze. It burned softly against your cheek, subtle, steady, and unmistakable. You didn't look up, but you knew he was watching you. Jungkook. From across the room, his eyes were trained on you, quite confident, flickering in them like he couldn't quite process the change. But you didn't flinch, didn't forget, just calmly kept your attention on your notes as if the very idea of him didn't even exist in your universe. Then a familiar voice brought lightness into the room. Kai, the topper of your class, known for his flawless grades, clean looks, and calm demeanor. Hey, is this seat taken? You looked up and smiled, genuinely this time. No, not at all. Go ahead. He settled beside you, placing his notes on the desk. I saw your presentation last week, that research topic you picked. Seriously impressive. You laughed softly, surprised. Really? I thought I was rambling the whole time. If rambling gets full marks, I would rather start taking lessons from you. You chuckled again. The first real laugh in days. It felt good. Effortless and, most importantly, free from Jungkook. From the other side of the room, Jungkook watched in silence, his fingers curled slightly on his desk. Something flickered in his eyes. By lunch, the skies had cleared. You walked to the cafeteria with Kai, the conversation flowing easily between the two of you. You didn't need to look back to know Jungkook and Minji were behind you. Your ears were sharp enough to hear the way Minji was chattering and Jungkook was unusually quiet. Then, hey, why do you keep looking at her? Come on, Jungkook, you said you don't care. There was a pause, then his voice. Oh, nothing, but that nothing carried weight. You turned slightly and catched the tail end of his expression. Confused, maybe irritated, his eyes flicked away the moment yours met his. You smelled a soft, dangerous curl of your lips. Not the smirk of the girl who used to hope you would notice. This one was different. If you choose to ignore me, then I'll teach you exactly how to play this game. And then came the thought, cold, cruel, sharp, like a knife wrapped in silk. Don't worry, Chunguk, I don't chase boys, I replace them. You turned back to Kai and laughed again, louder this time, just enough for someone behind you to hear. And that's when you felt it. The tables were starting to turn.